How's everybody doing? My name is Christopher Brown from Sports Talk with Chris, and this is my Eagles pregame show. Now, my Philadelphia Eagles, everybody should know by now I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fans. We're going against the Dallas Cowboys. This might be one of the best rivals in NFL history. Two fan bases, if you talk about fan bases, two fan bases that, just don't like each other. Two teams, two organizations that just don't like each other. But what that creates is great football. When these two teams go against each other, you can throw out the records. You can throw out, who's been playing bad. Because at the end of the day, these two teams know each other the best. These two teams are both fighting to get, a leg up on one another, to get first in the division, to win a division, to get into the playoffs. I will say this. I just said that you can throw away, who's been playing bad, who's been playing good. When you talk about these two teams going against each other. But sometimes you just can't do that. Not when a team, has been playing a certain way the entire year and it hasn't changed. And yes, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are scoring about 25 points a game and giving up 35. But they haven't scored that many points, since Dak Prescott has been there. You look at the two games Andy Dalton has been the starting quarterback. They've been, two bad performances. First, let's start off with the Cardinals game. This is a game that I had them losing, but I didn't expect it to be a 38-10 type of situation. I didn't expect that at all. I thought it was going to be, honestly, a little bit closer. Andy Dalton was 34 for 54, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. Now, why is this a problem? Because Zeke only carried the ball 12 times. I understand he had 2 fumbles. But like I said, many of times before, to me, Ezekiel Elliott is a top 4 running back in the NFL. So until he fumbles the ball 5 times, he's not coming off the field for me, not when he is by far the best player on my team. So I just don't understand the Dallas philosophy. And it's been like this the entire year. Even with Dak Prescott, when he was the starting quarterback, they didn't run the ball. And to me, that's why they've been losing. That's why they haven't had the success that a lot of the fans hoped for. Going back to my episodes before the season started, I had the Dallas Cowboys being one of the most disappointing teams because I knew them passing the ball would come up to hurt them. And it's doing that. You look at against the Washington football team, they got dominated 25-3. Again, I had Washington winning this game, but not in a dominated fashion. I mean, Andy Dalton was 9 for 19, 75 yards, a touchdown, sacked 3 times before, that big hit. He was taking out the game. You look at Ben DiNucci, who is now the starting quarterback for this game. 2 for 3, sacked 3 times. He was sacked more times than he had complete passes. Now, this game, ladies and gentlemen, is in Philadelphia at 8:20. Ben DiNucci, rookie quarterback, 3rd string, wasn't expected to play at all. Has to start now in an important game for both teams, but in a crazy rivalry. Is he ready for that? Is he up for that task? I don't think so. I do not think so. Like I said, Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci, both were sacked 3 times going against the Washington football team. Well, they have 22 sacks this year. My Philadelphia Eagles have 24. My Philadelphia Eagles, after this game, will be the league leader as a team when it comes to sacks. Shout out to Brandon Graham, who has 6 so far this year. We're going to get after Dallas. Yes, they have some injuries, but, let's just talk about injuries real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles, I'm not even going to just say, I'm just going to be honest. All the facts and stats. That's what I provide here, Sports Talk with Chris. The Philadelphia Eagles, their entire offense was hurt. Outside of Carson Wentz and outside of Jason Kelce, all the receivers were not there. 4 O-linemen and backups were not available. 2 starting tight ends not available. The wide receivers not available. So I do not want to hear any excuse from Dallas Cowboys fans talking about injuries where you still have 3 very, very good targets. You still have your starting running back. You still have a tight end. You still have pieces on your O-line. Your entire offense didn't disappear. You still have all the 3 weapons. You still have your 1st-round draft pick. You had him the entire year. So I don't want to hear any excuses now talking about my quarterback when my team was injured all year. And Dallas Cowboys fans only response was injuries are part of the game, no excuses. So what they're going to do now is use this in their excuse when they talk about this game. And I know a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans honestly giving up on Ben DiNucci because they don't know anything about him. Now, this is still going to be a very, very good game. Like I said, both teams playing bad, but both teams are fighting to be number 1 in the division, so both teams are going to give it their all. Now, this game, 8:20 Eastern Standard Time in Philadelphia. You look at the injury report, like I said, Andy Dalton's not playing. We know Dak Prescott's out for the year. So Ben DiNucci's that starting quarterback. For the Eagles, Miles Sanders not playing. Alshon Jeffrey not playing. Jeff Driscoll not playing. Greg James and LeBlanc are not playing. But you look at who returned for the Eagles and why this is a major upside. I'm about to get into it. We have Jalen Reagor, our first-round draft pick. And Jalen Reagor literally balled out his first 2 games. And Carson Wentz had a couple missed on passes. That first game against Washington, he easily could have had 3 receptions for over 100-plus yards. Speaking of Jalen Reagor, especially, a lot of Eagles fans were saying, I don't like the pick. We could have got Justin Jefferson. Shout out to Justin Jefferson. He is balling right now. He is balling. I would give him his credit. He is balling. But as it stands right now, I'm not regretting this draft pick. Jalen Reagor, he showed what he would provide for this offense before he got injured. It's not like he's been playing, has been producing. He's been injured. So, I don't know if he's fully healthy. We have this game in New York, then we have a bye. So after that, we'll really get to see full Jalen Reagor. Right now, I don't think he's going to play 100% of the snaps. I would say about 65 to 80. But, if we can get him included in the offense, that'll be fine because we lose D-Jack. So, we get Jalen Reagor back. So at least we got, our number 1 draft pick this year. At least we have him in the mix. Then we have Dallas Goedert coming back. Now, Richard Rodgers has been playing fine. He's been a proven tight end in this NFL. But Dallas Goedert was the guy that, honestly, we were comfortable trading Zach Ertz and having Dallas Goedert as that starting tight end. I had Dallas Goedert having a top 10 tight end season. He was on pace before that, before his injury. And I think he's just going to come in and do what he was doing, before that injury last season. Him and Richard Rodgers, 2 capable tight ends. We can still have our 2 tight end offense now. Because, like I said, there are 2 capable tight ends that can get the job done. Dallas Goedert's athletic. He'll make some plays for us, and he'll make some run blocks. What he's known for, and what we need him best for, is catching the ball and being another weapon. This Eagles team needed some weapons, and we now got 2 of them back. Then you look at the offensive line. We have Jason Peters back. That's such a plus. Now we still have my tie backing him up. So knock on wood, Jason Peters has been getting injured the past couple of seasons. It's glad that he's back in the lineup. Could you move him to guard and still start at Jordan? That's a question I wondered throughout this week, but I trust the Philadelphia Eagles and I trust the coaching staff that they made the right decision. And if we had to change anything, I trust them to make the change, have the right players out there on the field. So the Eagles got 2 of their weapons and another lineman back. That just helps us. But you still have Samalu's not back. Herbert, he's backing up right now. Driscoll's still out, so still have some injuries. Hopefully they can come back soon, but let's just focus on this game. Now I talked about the Cowboys. Let me get into the Eagles a little bit. Now the Eagles, giving up less than 380 yards, which is fine. Giving up 130 yards on the ground, 243 yards passing. I want to talk about this, rushing yards allowed. You look at who we went against, right? Pittsburgh, one of the, best running teams. They didn't really run the ball like that on us. San Fran, they had a good running game, but at San Fran, all they do is run. But let's talk about the Baltimore and New York game, where I feel like that average skyrocketed to 130. You look at Baltimore, you look at the running backs. The running backs, combined less for 70 yards rushing against us. Lamar Jackson is the one who took off and had the 2 big runs. You look at the Giants, the running backs combined for less than 70 yards rushing against us. That 80-yard run by Daniel Jones is the reason why they had a total of 160 yards on the ground. We're not going to get beat by a quarterback and Ben DiNucci running the ball on us. So, yes, Zeke is a great running back, but honestly, I'm confident in this running game to get the job done. And we're not, I think we're going to throw a lot of blitzes at Ben DiNucci, seeing that this is his first time starting in a big rivalry. So we're going to get after him, which we should. This team has been getting sacked a lot from Andy Dalton. Even when Dak was there, Ben DiNucci was sacked 3 times and he only completed 2 passes. So for the Eagles to be successful, they have to get after Ben DiNucci. And, yes, our running game has been better than what the stats is showing, but we still have to stop Zeke. At the end of the day, like I said, he's a top 4 running back. And, I do believe that it'll be an emphasis from the Dallas Cowboys to run the ball. Now, if not, then, something wrong with Mike McCarthy because you have a new quarterback and a trusted running back. Who do you go with more? Okay, then. But this is going to be a very, very good game. You look at the Eagles offense, we have Jalen Reagor back. We have Dallas Goedert back. You look at the Dallas defense, and they're honestly tied to me for one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They give over 415 yards, a game, almost 240 passing yards, 180 rushing yards. Now, the problem with Philadelphia when it comes to rushing yards is Miles Sanders, who's on pace to be top 10 when it comes to rushing yards, so far this year. He was dominating, and we've really never even established the run truly with him, and he was dominating so far this year before his injury. Without Miles Sanders, who's that running back that's going to step up? I feel like Boston Scott and Corey Clement haven't, taken that step forward running the ball. Yes, Boston Scott had a game-winning touchdown receiving against the Giants, but who's going to step up when it comes to running the ball? This Dallas team gives up a lot of yards on the ground. Without our starting running back, I'm curious, will Philadelphia, and I think this should be emphasis for them, try to establish a run game? Boston Scott, he did, show last year that he can make some plays on the ground. So I do think we need to try to establish a run with him and Corey Clement. I would not be surprised if Jalen Hurts get a lot of, playing time because, like I said, they're terrible on the run. You bring Jalen Hurts in with that read option, and even him handing the ball off is going to, make the defense think more. And Carson Wentz, top 10 right now when it comes to quarterback rushing yards and quarterback touchdowns. If I'm not mistaken, he's definitely top 7 too, to be more specific. He might get involved a lot on the running game because this team, like I said, is giving up 180 yards on the ground. For the Philadelphia Eagles, that's something that we need to take advantage of. Also, their defensive backs are suspect, corners and safeties. We need to take advantage of that too with Jalen Reagor coming back. We still have Fulgham, who's been doing this thing since he's been in the lineup. Greg Ward has been doing this thing ever since, last year. With Goddard back, with Richard Rodgers, we need to attack those guys. Now, Carson Wentz, this is the major key for this game. He cannot turn the ball over. He cannot give Dallas, any signs of hope. For the Philadelphia Eagles, they need to come out and destroy the Cowboys because if you keep them in a game, then it's anybody's game. If Carson Wentz, throws the turnover, Carson Wentz fumble, you're keeping them in a game, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to have good field position after that, and we're losing out on points. So for the Philadelphia Eagles, we probably have the most turnovers right now for NFL team, fumbles and interceptions. It cannot be that way against this Dallas Cowboys team because I know I talk about they don't have, the quarterback, the offensive line, the suspect. But listen, you still have to respect who they have. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Their tight end is here and there, but do you have Zeke? You still have 4 very, very good guys at that skill position that you're going to have to respect. So for the Eagles fans out there, don't think this is an easy W. Yes, I do think the Eagles are going to win. I'm going to give my prediction on the score at the end. But no, I do not believe it's going to be easy W. I think, you look at the Giants game. That was supposed to be an easy W, and we almost blew that game. And the Cowboys are better than the Giants, even though, they were close. They had a close matchup. That's just the division game. But I'm not taking this game lightly at all. Yes, I have the Eagles winning this game, but I do think it's going to be close. Like I said, the Dallas defense has been playing bad. The Eagles defense, honestly, they haven't been playing that bad. We gave up 21 against New York. We gave up 30 against Baltimore, but that was mainly because they had very, very good field position. They had less than 350 total yards. Lamar Jackson wasn't really able to pass the ball against us, and they weren't running the ball against us. San Fran only scored 20. Cincinnati, that's a whole different game. We still have some people out. So the Eagles are becoming more healthy, and I do think they'll be able to pull out this victory. Like I said, the run defense to me, I stated, stopping the running back hasn't been a problem. But Zeke, to me, is the best running back that we went against so far. He definitely is the best running back we went against so far. But this Dallas team, it just doesn't make no sense. Honestly, it just blows my mind how this Dallas team does not run the ball more. Like against the Washington football team, Zeke still only had 12 carries. It just blows my mind why this team isn't, up there when it comes to rushing yards. Like, I'll pull it up right now. I bet you they're not even in the top 10. Let's see. Dallas. I don't even see him up here. Yeah, they're the bottom half of the league. 101 yards per game. It just doesn't make sense when they have Zeke. So, what they've shown so far this year is, the fact that they're not going to give the ball to Zeke, the fact that they're going to stick with the passing game. Now, the new quarterback, will that stay the same? That's something we have to see. But Mike McCarthy is a guy that likes to pass the ball anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if they, throw the rock a lot. It just is mind-boggling, though. It's just mind-boggling. How you have this top running back and he doesn't receive the ball, and passing the ball is the reason why this team is the way they are. Honestly, the Cowboys easily could be 0-7 right now. They easily could be 0-7 right now. They beat Atlanta. They got lucky. Garbage time yards, miscommunication. And then you only beat New York by 3. Now, Eagles only beat them by 1. And we could have lost to them too. But there's a lot of games we could have won. And it's, Dallas really lost all their games. They really lost all their games. Washington, they lost by 22. Arizona, they lost by 28. New York, yes, they almost won. Cleveland, they got dominated the entire game. Up into the fourth quarter, all the garbage time yards. Seattle, they lost that game. They got lucky. It was only a touchdown. Atlanta, they got lucky. They won that game. Los Angeles, they really lost that game. This Dallas Cowboys team is not good. Philadelphia Eagles have to step it up. They have to be, they have to be sound today. Like I said, no interceptions, no fumbles. You cannot give this Dallas team hope. Because once you give them hope, they're going to think they're in the game, that it's going to come down, to that fourth quarter. And that's something I don't want to see. Eagles, I just want a victory. I just want a victory. You look at ESPN, they have them winning about 75%. Everybody's leaning more towards the Eagles. It's not going to be that easy. Do I think we can win this game? Yes. Do I have us winning this game? Yes. But I'm sticking on it. It's not going to be this easy. It's not. It's not. So with Ben DiNucci being that starting quarterback, looking at Amari Cooper, looking at CeeDee Lamb, looking at Michael Gallup, I just don't know if these guys are going to get the ball. So, you wonder, this is an offense that's putting up 438 yards a game. Mind you, this is mostly when Dak was starting. They really have not, been the same team. Against the Cardinals, they only had, a little over 300, a little over 4, did they get to 400? No, just a little over 300 yards. So, a lot of their stats are really based on when Dak was there. You look at when Andy was there, they haven't been the same. With Ben DiNucci, I don't think is going to be any difference. I don't know if Amari Cooper is going to get the same touches, especially in the deep balls. I don't know. If anything, they're just going to try to, beat us over the middle. I don't know if CeeDee Lamb's going to get the same touches. I don't know Michael Gallup's going to get the same touches. And I love the fact that we have Darius Slay to guard Amari Cooper, but who's going to step up and guard CeeDee Lamb in the slot or Michael Gallup, if they intertwine? That's what I really want to see. I'm confident in this running game. This, passing game, I just want to be, secure about it. I do. They don't have a tight end. The Eagles really cannot guard tight ends. I'm not worried about any of their tight ends. I'm worried about those 3 wide receivers. We have some corners injured, so who's really going to step up? I'm wondering. I just need to see who's going to step up. Maddox, is he going to step up? Nicole Roby-Coleman, is he going to step up? I mean, we signed him. We need him there. Will Parks is playing. We have Kevon Wallace playing. We have our guy, is Jalen Mills going to have to move to the corner? That's the things we're going to have to wonder and the things we're going to have to see. There's a lot of what ifs. But, here's the guarantees. Carson Wentz is going to go back into the people's grace after this game when he has a great and phenomenal game against the Cowboys. Guarantee, if the Cowboys lose, Mike McCarthy will be fired on Monday. Guarantee the Eagles defense will dominate the Cowboys. Guarantee the Eagles offense will dominate the Cowboys defense. Guarantee. The Eagles will win this game. Guaranteed. My final score is going to be 28-17. I'm excited about this game. There's really not much I can say. Both teams have been battling injuries. Eagles 2-4-1. The Cowboys 2-5. Whoever wins this is number 1 in the division. And the division is going to come down to these 2 teams. And it's the Eagles division to lose. It is. Moving forward, we're going against better competition, but we're becoming more healthy. The Cowboys, they've been playing, the same way the entire year. Nothing's changed, and they've been healthy. So the Cowboys are the team that they're going to be. And this is a team that's going to believe in the pass, live and die by the pass, and their defense isn't going to stop anybody. And that's why I have the Eagles scoring a lot of points. With a defense that's not going to stop anybody, I do think we'll be able to execute. I mean, we executed against Baltimore defense. We executed against the Steelers defense. Now, the Giants defense, it was a lot of bad play calling. That's my problem with the Eagles, honestly. It's not so much the players, it's the play calling can be so inconsistent, especially on first and third downs. Actually, it's a lot of every downs. And then the red zone, everywhere is inconsistency. And I just don't like that. I think that can hurt us. You look second and third quarter, we're not scoring any points. We cannot gain no rhythm. We're always having to have a fourth quarter, a great fourth quarter. I do believe the Eagles want to be successful long term. Today has to be the day where they establish rhythm in every single quarter. Every single quarter, we have to at least, score points, whether it's a field goal, hopefully 7. But this team needs to establish some rhythm on the offensive end. And going against this terrible Cowboys defense, it should be the week. Now, the Giants have a bad defense too, but I think the Cowboys defense is worse. Cowboys traded away one of their pass rushers, which is a plus for the Eagles because, and they got rid of some D linemen, which is a plus for the Eagles because Carson Wentz has been sacked more than anybody, been hit more than anybody. So we're going against a Dallas team that cannot get after the quarterback. That means Carson Wentz has more time. And when he has more time, he can make better throws. He won't feel rushed. That's been Carson Wentz's problem the entire year. He's been feeling rushed. So I truly believe this is the game where the Philadelphia Eagles show why we're the best team in the NFC. And, prove me right when I said we have Super Bowl hopes. For everybody being injured, everybody's laughing at me now. But when we become healthy, they understand why I said what I said. So final score of this game, I probably said it once. I might change it now. The more I'm thinking about it in my head, I like 28. I like 28-16. 28-16, 28-13. I don't see Dallas putting up a lot of points. If they do put up points, it's going to be on, miscommunication and blown assignments by the Philadelphia Eagles. So the final score of this game, 28-16. The post-game for this show will be out Monday, the post-game reaction. Cannot wait to watch this game. I'm hoping my Eagles win. There's a lot of questions that are going to be answered, in this game. Are Dallas, really disappointing? Have the Eagles answered some of the questions? Is Jalen Reagor, worth that top pick? Is Carson Wentz, a bad quarterback, or is he having a bad start to the season? This is week 8. It's halfway through the year. That's how I'm going to, evaluate this Philadelphia Eagles team. I know what I'm getting out of the defense. Like I said, the defense is top 3 in sacks. One thing we do need to work on is creating turnovers. So going against a third-string quarterback, you would hope we get some interceptions, force some fumbles. Zeke has been having fumbling problems the past couple of games. Hopefully we can force some turnovers. That's the only question about the defense. We get after the quarterback, but can we create turnovers? That's how we're going to come better as a unit and become better as a team. The offense, can we be consistent? Can this team, even without Miles Sanders, develop a consistent running game? Because when we were at our best as a unit, with that year we had a Super Bowl run, our run game set up the pass. We didn't have to pass every single down. Now, we did have more running backs, but I blame that on the GM and coaching staff for not seeing how we were winning and not adding another running back. Regardless, Cowboys giving up 180 yards on the ground. We need to get at least 130 or 40, at least. Boston Scott, Corey Clement, you need to step up. You need to hit the hole. You need to get about 3-4 yards a pop. You cannot fumble, take care of the ball. Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts first. If you get in the game, take care of the ball and get positive yards. And Carson Wentz, this is how I'm going to really end it off. Carson Wentz, this is your game to prove why you are a top 10 QB in this game. Honestly, and I mean that. This is your game to show everybody. I don't care how bad the defense is. A win is a win if you go out and you prove that you deserve to win. So the defense has been playing good. Don't let the defense be the winner of this game. You need to take advantage. You need to score points. You need to drive this team down the field. You need to dominate Carson Wentz. Flat out. So like I said, final score of this game, 28-18, 28-16, 28-13. Regardless, the Philadelphia Eagles are winning this game. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, the post-game show, reactions to this game will be coming out Monday morning on my YouTube channel, Chris Wavy TV. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Sports Talk with Chris. You can find my Facebook page, Sports Talk with Chris, my Instagram and Twitter, SportsW_Chris. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, like, comment. Thank you all for watching. Like I said, fly Eagles fly. Let's get this W. Peace out, everybody.